going to the clinical side and how things look like in the clinical side. What are the clinical indications that we have? What are the what we call on-label application that we have for all those technologies that we have been discussing today that we can actually use in the clinical work, and most of the time we can also charge insurance companies in the US. And the situation is close to what you have here in Europe, but what are what we call FDA indications for non-invasive brain stimulation? How many FDA indications do we have? Can anybody has any idea? We have heard about depression, right? So depression is something that we all have heard about, that FDA-approved depression, TMS for depression. So that is something that we have heard about. What else do we have? For OCD, what else? For Parkinson, okay. Non-invasive brain stimulation for Parkinson, okay. What else? Addiction, okay. What else? What type of addiction? General addiction, okay. What else? To have an idea how we are actually using these technologies. So first of all, we have one approval for depression. And this one basically started in 2008. And it has some extension. So the most recent extension is in September 2025. It's a new accelerated protocol with H1 coil. And H1 coil is something like a shotgun approach. So it's not individual. It's just a really large scale, very wide range of stimulation, different parts of the brain, September 2025. But one of the indications is coming from what we call SAND protocol, that specifically has fMRI inside. So there is one specific indication in the clinical work that has the combination of fMRI and TMS together to be used for clinical population. And in psychiatry, this is the only FDA-approved indication that has individualized brain mapping inside. So the entire OHBM community and the entire fMRI community, the level of contribution to the clinical work that we do in psychiatry right now is that specific protocol. So thinking about, and this happened in September 2022. So thinking about how we are behind in terms of all the advancements that we have in the field, how they are being actually used in the clinical work so far. And then the other indications that we have indication for migraine pain, OCD, smoking cessation, and anxious depression. So these are the 4 other indications that we have, specifically for TMS. And there is one new indication for TDCS. Anybody knows that? What was that indication? Happened in 2025, actually December 2025. For depression. For a specific European device. So I'm not going to go to the brands, but these are the the indication that we already have, okay?